school football game of the week. Lake Weir at Westport. And you can hear it all right here on WOCA, The Source.
Career Source. Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
WOCA. Ocala.
Help prevent the spread of germs. Wash your hands with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds and always wash before you touch your face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers. Limit sharing of eating utensils. Practice social distancing and avoid physical contact. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at scientology.org/stay well.
WOCA, putting the local back into radio.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a high of 87 to 90, partly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 75. Then Friday, look for a mix of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in the area and a high of 86 to 88. Saturday will be mostly sunny, high on Saturday 86 to 88. Then Sunday will have a blend of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in parts of the area in the afternoon. High on Sunday 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
There's a staycation right here in town. It's Super 8 Motel Ocala, right down the road on 40, just west of I-75. And they're pet friendly. Have truck parking, free breakfast, a swimming pool, a kiddie pool, and veterans get 10% off. It's a staycation at Super 8 Ocala. Call today, Super 8 Ocala, at 352-629-8794. Again, 352-629-8794.
WOCA. Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA. Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Good morning. Welcome back to the show. AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source saying good morning to you. 68 degrees out there. Beautiful. Expecting a beautiful day. High near 88 degrees. Just absolutely gorgeous. And it is now time for your Ocala Quick Minute News. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source. As it comes through, President Donald Trump defended his response to the coronavirus and touted his economic record as during a live stream speech yesterday to the Nonpartisan Economic Club of Florida and similar clubs in 5 other states. The president's address also included an ominous warning.
If I don't get elected in a little while, 20 days, China will own the United States. I can tell you that.
As President Trump is getting ready for a broadcast town hall event from Miami tonight. At the same time, Joe Biden is hosting a town hall in Philadelphia. The president will then host his rally Friday at the Ocala International Airport. As it says, 1.9 million Floridians have already voted by mail, and early voting sites open for business around the state on Monday. says if someone in your household has recently been diagnosed with the coronavirus, the University of Miami's Miller School of Medicine is looking for you. Doctors are testing any antibody cocktail to see if the spread of the virus can be reduced within a family, and if infected, the severity of the virus can be limited.
Monoclonal antibodies is actually as a group, they're one of the safest medicines. They've been used for over 25 years. They're used in cancer, they're used in autoimmune diseases, they're used in disorders of the skin.
As Dr. Gary Klenier says that they're looking to enroll 100 people, 12 years or older. They must have learned of their family member's positive diagnosis within 96 hours. As mentioned, Saturday's game at the Swamp in Gainesville between the University of Florida and LSU is being postponed because of the Gators dealing with the COVID-19 infections and quarantines. Now, the SEC has rescheduled, as the SEC says that the game's new date is now December 12th. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. And with the mentioning of what we talked about with the President Donald Trump presidential rally this Friday in Ocala, here's what you need to know and what to bring, as they've mentioned this one here, thanks to the Ocala Star banners. President Donald Trump, who is scheduled to speak tomorrow at the rally at Ocala International Airport, one of several stops in the key battleground state of Florida in the final weeks of his campaign. As they say, here's what you need to know. First of all, it's at 4 p.m. Friday, October 16th, which is tomorrow, as gates open at 1 p.m., as President Donald Trump is expected to speak around 5 p.m. Organizers, they do suggest arriving early, which I know a lot of people will. Where will it be held is where they say. Well, that'll be at the Ocala International Airport at 1770 Southwest 60th Avenue here in Ocala, as they will host the Make America Great Again campaign rally for President Donald Trump, as it is mentioned, October 16th, as tickets are required. So the question is how do I get tickets? Well, they say register at events.donaldtrump.com. You can request 2 tickets per mobile phone, and all tickets are subject to a first-come, first-served basis. Only those who register for tickets can enter the event. For those going to the event, where do you park? Well, parking details will be shared, as they say, with those who register for tickets, but most parking will be near the corner of State Road 40, Southwest 60th Avenue, where there are large fields. Detail on shuttle service are not yet available. With that, though, too, comes some impediment of the roads and the ideas of circumnavigating that area. Southwest 60th Avenue between State Road 40 and State 200. State Road 200 will be restricted to event and local traffic only, as those will be certain road closures. As mentioned, Southwest 60th between State Road 40 and State Road 200. They say, do you need a mask? Well, the previous campaign events made face masks and hand sanitizers available. Face masks are encouraged by the local Department of Health, but not required. As what can I bring? What is allowed? As attendees will undergo security checks before entering the grandstand area. Restrictions are similar to airport guidelines. No large bags, no umbrellas, no pocket knives or other weapons. Cameras, though, are encouraged. Nearly 4 years to the day, Donald Trump will visit Ocala again on the eve of the presidential election, this time as the incumbent. It says on October 12th, 2016, the candidate Trump held one of his own signature rallies at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion that drew an estimated crowd of 12,000 people. Hosting a president, however, is a much bigger logistical undertaking. Organizers on Friday's rally expect anywhere from 5,000 to possibly 15,000 people. As planning started weeks earlier in the United States Secret Service coordinating with local law enforcement as the Ocala International Airport and other agencies. The contingency plans that are in places for emergencies, medical issues, natural disasters, and such attacks as such. It says on Wednesday, at least one of the C-17 cargo planes was at the airport unloading the support materials needed for the rally. Multiple large vehicles lined the front of the airport to block the view of the runway from the road. The Marion County Sheriff's Office and the Ocala Police Department are assisting the Secret Service with security. It says while not going into specifics, Sheriff spokesman Sergeant Paul Bloom said local law enforcement will undertake multiple roles during the event, saying, quote, there will be lots of officers and deputies with visible roles and a lot that people won't see. It's a coordinated effort with the Secret Service, Bloom said, as Bloom will not give the number of law enforcement personnel expected to work the detail, but did say the event would not pull any officers off of the roads. In order to keep the police radio chatter from the event off the normal law enforcement radio channels, the station will, as they say, will station Sheriff's Mobile Command Unit at the event, and the unit will handle radio communications for the event. As attendees will go through security screenings and enter the rally area as they do. And as it says, the rules are similar to the FAA airport regulations as mentioned. As Michelle Meadows with Trump's campaign teams, she said specifics about the event include face mask policies that were not immediately available. Previous rallies, as the campaign has provided masks and hand sanitizer to those who want them. So the president visited Ocala in October last year, where he held a small gathering at the airport before traveling to the villages aboard the Marine One helicopter. And despite traveling by air, the president's full motorcade also made the trip, flown in the abroad several C-17s, and it's not clear if the presidential vehicle, which typically travels with him, will be available in Ocala on Friday. More AM Ocala Live. We'll be talking more about that. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
I'm Chris Foster. Joe Biden denies ever meeting with a Ukrainian businessman who worked with his son Hunter. A request for a meeting is part of a New York Post story about files found on a laptop computer. Twitter's CEO is apologizing for how it handled blocking the story from being shared.
Jack Dorsey saying the company failed to provide context for its actions. The tech giant had earlier claimed it took action against the article alleging leaked emails show the vice president's son introduced the Democratic presidential nominee to Ukrainian energy executive because it violated its policy regarding hacked material.
Fox's Sean Langell. Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court confirmation hearing today features outside witnesses. She says about the difficulty of the process.
For me to say, I'm not willing to undertake it, even though I think this is something important, would be, a little cowardly. And, I wouldn't be answering a call to serve my country.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, there's so much to take advantage of. Like $0 copays on preventive dental care.
Wow.
Plus the nation's largest Medicare dental network.
Wow.
It's time to take advantage. To learn more, visit AdvantageWow.com. That's AdvantageWow.com.
$0 cost share for in-network preventive dental care. Specified services only. Benefits vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Network size varies by market.
Wow.
An official message from Medicare.
So, did you try it yet?
Comparing plans? Oh, yeah. They sure can change year to year.
Well, I found lower prescription costs and historically low plan premiums.
Ooh, how about those new insulin savings? Hundreds of plans, $35 a month.
That'll save you money.
Comparing plans really pays.
Mm-hmm.
Compare plans from home at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News, I'm a Southeast AgNet. NASDA, the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture, is a nonpartisan nonprofit association representing the elected and appointed commissioners, secretaries, and directors of the Departments of Agriculture in all 50 states. Well, this week in a release, NASDA CEO Dr. Barb Glenn lined out their expectations for the next administration, whether it be Biden or Trump at the helm. Some may wonder why NASDA, as a nonpartisan organization, would even wade into this heated political time for America, but they note that agriculture is not a red or blue issue, and resiliency for rural America continues to be their goal. More than 6 months ago, before the election process truly heated up, NASDA members adopted a call to action seeking government policies that ensure resilience for rural America. And they note no matter who wins on November the 3rd, the next president of the U.S. must preserve and expand market access for U.S. food and ag products. They must protect workers in the food and ag sector and increase availability of qualified labor. They must prioritize keeping our food safe for consumers. They must expand rural broadband access for rural business and communities. They must enhance resilience across the entire U.S. food supply ecosystem, and they must invest in climate resiliency programs. If you'd like to learn more about this from NASDA, go to our website, southeastagnet.com.
A toast to soil health.
More and more landowners and their farmers are celebrating healthy soil for good reason, because farmers who use soil health building practices like no-till and cover crops and who use diverse species and rotations report greater farm productivity, profitability, and resiliency. So here's to your soil's health. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today and learn how to unlock the secrets in your soil. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. In addition to our pasture mowing and tractor services, including zero-turn mowers for your fence line finish, we also offer rototilling and fence row spraying. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
WOCA.
Last week in the WOCA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by McCarson Electric, proudly serving Marion County for over 30 years. McCarson Electric for all of your commercial, industrial, and residential needs. Call McCarson Electric at 352-812-4486. The Westport Wolfpack fell to 2-1 in their loss to the Knights.
Decent kick, end over end. Rucker's going to catch it on the fly at his own 45. He studied steps. He's going to run by Seidel, and then he jumps and jukes.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Welcome back to the show, AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. Streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, 6 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hour. As we say good morning to you, it is now time for Life South Community Blood Centers with our good friend Galen. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How are you today, my man?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing real good. And we're kind of in a little bit of a stretch here of some really good weather. So all we need to say is that it's cool in the evening and it's warm during the day and the sun is out.
There you go. That's right.
There we go. Hey, just to jump right into it, tomorrow's going to be a big day here in Ocala, as mentioned, with the Ocala International Airport, as President Donald Trump will be putting on his campaign rally tomorrow. And I know we were talking about it a little bit off air, but there's a football game to be had right around the same time.
Well, right about the same neighborhood, right?
That's right.
Westport High School is a block away from the airport. I really don't know how I'm getting there. So, I guess maybe I'll go over on 80th, go up. I really don't know. And I don't know, like, how Lake Weir's going to get there. That'll be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, that adds just a little bit of weirdness to the idea of actually getting all that together, because, like you said, same area. It's going to be a madhouse over there, as they're expecting, as we just read, maybe between They said 5,000 to maybe 15,000 people. And with that from, I believe they said 60th Avenue closed from State Road 40 all the way to State Road 200. So that whole stretch there. It's going to be interesting. And we know traffic's going to be heavy over there nonetheless. So it'll be a little bit of work to get that going. But it is Westport versus Lake Weir is week 4 as coming through with some high school football.
Yeah, it should be a good game for Westport. They're back to being 100% after, they had several key players out because of COVID, so it should be good. The quarterback will be back, and I'm excited to see how they respond.
And speaking of that, as we mentioned just a little bit at the beginning of the show, there has been a scheduled change with the date for the game, but obviously the Florida Gators and the LSU Tigers is postponed for Saturday's game due to COVID-19 and everything going on with the Gators. And they moved it to December 12th now. And as that's been brought up, it's also been brought up that Nick Saban has tested positive for COVID-19, which puts a different dynamic on the Georgia-Alabama game this weekend. What do you think of that?
Yeah, he won't obviously be on the sideline, still play the game. Which is going to be interesting. It'll be a big opportunity for the rest of the staff. And again, it just goes to show you this whole season is a great big asterisk.
Yeah.
For almost everything. So, it shakes out, and it'll all be over soon.
Yeah, it'll all be over soon. You're right. And it was interesting, as they mentioned on the national news with it, giving some quotes from Nick Saban. Man, he... And I don't blame him. He sounded very, very upset, almost to the point where it was like he basically said, he's like, I just, I didn't even know. I don't even have any symptoms. He's asymptomatic, and to him it feels like a big speed bump. But obviously he was understanding enough in the right in the right frame or portrait of the media to say the right things. But you could tell a little bit in the demeanor of his voice that he's a little perturbed, to say the least.
Well, in normal circumstances, you would never know he had it,
yep.
right? And this is the whole thing.
This is
herd mentality. Still the average age of death for COVID is still in the 80s.
Yep.
Right. And we're missing out on that herd immunity because of things like this. By isolating a guy who has it and has no symptoms, who's pretty healthy, we're preventing other people from getting those same immunities. And it just means that the virus takes a whole lot longer to spread.
Yes.
That's all it does. As I said, it's not possible to contain it. Yeah. Unless you live in a bubble, right? Unless every single person you interact, you can guarantee they don't have the virus. That's the bubble in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's in the NHL. That's not reality. And the millions and millions of dollars that costs the NBA and the NHL. That's not a reality for the rest of us who are just trying to put food on the table.
Absolutely. As we know, when we were trying to, so to speak, flatten the curve and everything with the statewide shutdown and all that we know how it affected so many businesses in our community and nationwide and everything else. Like we said, it's kind of here we are. It's weeks away from the election, and it's I guess moments like that with Nick Saban, who basically said he's like I wouldn't have even known I had it if it wasn't for the circumstances of having to get tested as often as we did, and it's just one of those things that I don't know. I'm trying to say is it's just that's why this feels so drawn out, obviously, with everything with COVID, and here we are now, like we said, weeks away from the election, and then maybe it will go away soon. So we have that election get to the end of the year, maybe we'll I don't know, see that different normal again, that new normal that's more like the normal we had before. What do you think?
Well, it all depends on what states open up and how they open up, and if the CDC changes, because we're following everything we're following the CDC guidelines.
Right.
Right, and that's the protocol we're following. And again, this is just, with every crisis, our government gets a little stronger and a little bigger and a little more involved in our life. And this is another example of that.
Absolutely. Well, moving on a little bit with sports, we're both a little surprised the way the American League Championship Series with baseball and the National League Series was playing out, with basically now as the Tampa Bay Rays have one game to win to make it to the World Series, although yesterday it was the Astros that got one back there, and the same thing for the Dodgers. But it was one of those things where it's like, all right, is Tampa gonna do this? Are they gonna be able to sweep them? But nonetheless, they dropped the game last night 4-3 to the Houston Astros, but still just one win or one game away from the World Series. But like we said just a little bit off there, a little surprised by the Atlanta Braves to have taken it to the Dodgers like they've had.
Well, going back to the Rays, it's kind of sad because they're one game away from the World Series and no one cares. You could look at Tampa and they could have two champions, right? The Stanley Cup champion, which
the World Series.
Tampa,
same year.
they love their Lightning down there. I mean, if you spend any time in that area, you'll see every other car seems to have something affiliated with the Lightning.
Yep.
And then you look at the Rays and. Nobody wants to go to that stadium. Nobody cares. If the Red Sox or Yankees aren't playing, they average about 10,000 fans. And there's no movement whatsoever to get a new ballpark. Mm-hmm. I read an article and it talked about what it would take for the Rays to be significant in the city or in the Tampa Bay area, and the guy concluded they would just have to leave.
Is that right?
And then he said 20 years from now, people would wax poetically about how they missed the Rays, even though they probably never went to a game in person. So that's kind of where the situation with the Rays. And with the Braves, I mean, all of their young guys that they played early and just said, look, we're going to fight through it. Swanson and, Freddie Freeman starting to hit for, more than just doubles. They're getting good pitching. Acuna Jr. All these guys are really starting to perform.
Yeah.
And it's impressive going against the Dodgers, who have been by far and away the best team in baseball the last 2 years.
Right.
They just haven't been able to win the World Series.
Right.
3 years.
Just for what we're talking about, how good, consistent baseball the Braves have been playing. Last night, I don't know, it felt like a little bit of a fluke there. 11 runs given up in the first inning. I don't know what that was all of a sudden, but that was one inning, the very first inning, 11 runs, and then it was pretty much over for the rest of the ball game there, because it was hard to think about anything coming back to that as they dropped 15-3 the game last night. What do you think? Just looking at some of the highlights and stuff, what happened there last night for the Braves? It
doesn't really matter. I mean, the first inning for people sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, as I've said a million times, I'd much rather lose in a blowout like that.
Yeah.
Than 1-0, 2-1 game. And the Rays are much better because every game to them they play like that.
Yeah.
That's their MO. They're destroying baseball. They're making it almost impossible to watch with all their pitching changes and this guy comes off the bench and the way they use analytics and it's borderline. No. It is. It's impossible to watch. There's no flow to the game.
It's the Bryson DeChambeau of baseball.
There's a new starter. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at kind of in sports, that science and statistics and has taken over field. When we were growing up, it was like you gotta be able to feel this and football's there, basketball's getting there where it's becoming statistically driven.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind that baseball is there. And then golf will be next. I mean, the starting lineup is set by a team of people on a computer with a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And have a black belt, analytics and stuff. So it's really, really rough because there's no flow to the game. It's all You know, the goner is a guy who goes 7 innings, right? And then you have a setup guy and a closer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was a kid, if you didn't pitch 9 innings, it was like, oh, I guess you had a rough outing.
Yeah.
Then the agents got involved, and they said a quality start. They created this metric called a quality start.
Yes.
And if you go 6 innings, if you reach, let me change that. If you reach the 6th inning, it's a quality start.
It's a quality start, yeah. And you could tell that's where everything's come in now, too, with how precious the pitch count is, how precious it is with the amounts per pitches per at-bat for each guy.
Pitch count.
Yeah.
It's both sides, not just pitching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys are not afraid to strike out. Right? They're just not. They're like, okay, I struck out, no big deal.
Yeah.
You know, they're making each pitcher throw 7 or 8 pitches because they're waiting for this one situation. They know they're going to throw this pitch and where it's going to go, and then they can tee off on it. And it's just dragging out the game. And then after every at bat, they look to the dugout because there's some scientist in there with a calculus. Or with a calculator telling them whether to swing or not.
Right.
That's really where we're at.
And you said in a way, and I think this is to touch on something you mentioned before, this is kind of with the asterisks of the idea of the season, an abbreviated season, and where we're at with this bubble of playoffs. This is why it's kind of worked for Tampa in a way, because it almost feels like in a normal 162-game season, it's more of the marathon, less of the sprint, so you have to rely more on talent, more on feel, as well as whatever your analytics are and everything else, right?
Yeah, well, injuries. You're a lot less likely to get injured, and they don't have that depth.
Yeah.
I think the analytics would just play out. They don't change their style. They don't care if it's watchable. They can care less. It's not like their fans care.
Yeah, that's not.
They don't. I mean, the average Tampa Bay Ray game is something like 22 minutes longer than the any other team.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
It's their style. It's how they win ball games. They wear you down.
And if they wear you down and that's their style, is it deservative of a World Series at this point? And can they do that to either the Braves or the Dodgers when it comes to it if they move on to the World Series?
Well, they won it on the field, and that's where it matters.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see where they end up. I think they'll end up in the World Series. We'll see if they win it. But again, I mean, again in the same article, this guy was talking about how they track how long a player can stand out in the outfield, and they focused and whether their defensive metrics go up as they stay out there longer.
Jeez.
So think about that. So they're like, okay, if we can drag this out, and this left fielder gets a little bored, you know, or maybe Mookie Betts, the longer he's out there, the lower his defensive metrics.
Right.
Okay, that's an advantage for us.
Yeah.
That's how deep they're getting into these analytics.
Yeah, man. That's it. And then we know the movie Moneyball that spawned the infancy of that to see where it goes. And that's what I always love about that movie is at the end, it's like, well, that team of the Oakland A's, they lost to the Twins because at the end of the day you still need talent, but still at this point they've been able to, with the evolution of it, there's still talent, but like you said, with playing on these analytics, it's weird. But I guess in a way, for the way statistics are with baseball and fans of baseball, that comes to statistics, I guess it's just it's an evolution of the game. Is that what it is, or is it a comfortable evolution of the game? Is everybody getting on board with that?
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's the reality that we're living in.
Moving on a little bit, my friend, to the NFL. We didn't get to, with me out of the studio this week, I didn't get the chance to talk to you a little bit to recap from last weekend's, but it was a little, how do I put this? I want to put this as eloquently as I can. What did you think now? And I'm only bringing it up because as much as we talked about Dak Prescott with being a quarterback that's just okay enough to get the coach fired, with his injury, does that help the Cowboys now bringing on somebody like Dalton?
No.
No, it doesn't, does it? Because
This means they're not going to pay Dak Prescott.
It's exactly right.
It'll help them in that they'll get a huge discount on Dak Prescott and be able to put talent around him.
Yeah.
But
that's
Andy Dalton should have gotten his coach fired 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times, yes, over in Cincinnati.
I mean, it was terrible.
And now, but leading into that a little bit, I was going to ask you because that's what I was thinking. They could get Dak Prescott now as a abbreviated or cheaper price, but in line with that, would that actually help things out? Because now with the injury, you can have that talent around him. But like we were talking about, for the quarterback to take less of that salary, like we know Tom Brady did with the New England Patriots, to build the team around him, is that possible to happen in Dallas? Or is it's such a weird organization to begin with?
That's what they've been trying to do already.
Yeah.
It's just they've been working on that for a long time. It'll free up some cap space. We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah. My other mentioning was I was going to ask you, my Saints were able to squeak out an overtime victory there on Monday night, and there were some things I was impressed with the Chargers, but is it enough to say that the Chargers are a better team than we thought, or is it my Saints are not playing very good this year at all?
I think you're in real trouble with the Saints.
Yeah.
Drew Brees without Michael Thomas is not very good. I think the only thing that's keeping you guys in anything is Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
It is pretty incredible. We'll see. They got a bye week. That'll help. We'll see.
That'll help a ton.
Come back and do something. But the Chargers are doing this to everybody.
They are.
They're just good enough to lose right now.
They are.
He's playing out of his mind.
And you mentioned it, a statistic that was kind of unbelievable was, like you said, just good enough to lose. And we're talking lose by a point or 3 points or less. How many games that they had the opportunity to win and how many they've lost with only a spread of 2 or 3 points. It's been incredible. But that was kind of a fun team to watch, and like you mentioned, my friend, when you say it, it always takes me a minute with those uniforms to be like, what is this? And then after a while, it grows on you. And like you said, those are probably the best uniforms in football right now with the Los Angeles Chargers.
How does it take you a minute to let them grow on you?
Because it's that immediate like, wow, what's going on here, and then as the game plays on,
I love the color yellow.
Yeah.
So I do. That's my favorite color.
It goes well.
I just love the Charger baby blue.
Yeah.
I just think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love it. I do, but I admit it. So
I guess I'm trying to say I'm on board too, and it took me a minute because there's times where I'm like, all right, especially playing the Saints, all right, nice, strong black and gold,
doo-doo brown color.
And that's what I told my buddy. I said, what do you think of those Chargers uniforms? He's like, oh, they're awful. I said, well, come on, man, we're used to brown and orange. And he goes, hey, you got to admit those new brown jerseys with the brown and orange helmets with the black face masks are pretty good. I said, the only reason they look decent is because they're playing on a green field, but they're really not that great either. It's just one of those things. But speaking of the Browns, they took...
that Midwest priority going, we're in the Rust Belt. Let's prove it by having the first uniforms on the field. And the other team in our state, we're going to put these ridiculous stripes on their heads to make you look more like a zebra than a tiger.
I know. And, in a way, I almost wish they would go back to the helmets that just said Bengals with the player's number on them. I don't know why they haven't tried to, dabble back into time like that, some of the old history.
Nobody's ever going to sell either one of those teams, but I would just start over and go, look, this brown just isn't working for us. We're going to make it, black, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, purple.
Black helmet?
Black and purple. Yeah, we'll be like the Ravens. Maybe that'll help us win. Since they took our team, they've been dominating us.
Well, with that being said, the Cleveland Browns take on the Steelers, which I'm ready for the Steelers to play an opponent, and I hope the Browns can give them a football game here as little contention there in the AFC North, like you mentioned, one of the worst leagues or the worst divisions in football in the league. But that'll be an interesting matchup for this weekend. And another good one is the what was it? And then again, what was it? The Packers and the Buccaneers. That was the one I was looking at with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. That should be a good one there. And I think it would say a lot for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they can win that one.
We'll see. They've got to figure out. To me, there's two problems. One, penalties. Penalties is the reason they lost that game on Thursday.
Yep.
Very, very just silly, selfish type pre-snap penalties, post-snap or post-whistle penalties. The other big issue is what they can do at running back. They've got to have a running back that can catch the ball. Tom Brady's got to have that guy. And Rojo has proven he got hands of stone. So he seems to run pretty well, but he's got to be able to catch the ball because they don't have a tight end.
Right.
Connor Bratt's probably going to have that monster game. And then, their wide receiving core is all kinds of beat up. So we'll see. And then the defense has got to be able to stop Aaron Rodgers. And nobody's been able to do that yet.
Yeah, no one's been able to really yet this year. And then that's where I think that's where it's going to have to begin. But we appreciate it, my friend. Real quick before we go, where will the Bloodmobile be at today?
Hey, today we're going to be at Indigo East out there on top of the world. And we're really happy to be out there. So hopefully we can get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood.
Yeah, awesome. Excellent. Yeah, a little different, and I know you guys are glad to do that. We appreciate it, my friend. We look forward to talking at you tomorrow when, tomorrow's going to be a busy day in Ocala, but we look forward to it, and we look forward to talking to you, man. Get safe to where you're going.
All right, thanks, man. Be good. Glad to have you back.
You got it, buddy. Bye. WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. That segment's brought to you by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, as well as Penn Flooring, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. So we're glad to bring it to you. Get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood as the Bloodmobile Bear. On top of the world, Indigo East. More coming your way back after this.
I'm Chris Foster. Joe Biden denies ever meeting with a Ukrainian businessman who worked with his son Hunter. A request for a meeting is part of a New York Post story about files found on a laptop computer. Twitter's CEO is apologizing for how it handled blocking the story from being shared.
Jack Dorsey saying the company failed to provide context for its actions. The tech giant had earlier claimed it took action against the article alleging leaked emails showed the vice president's son introduced the Democratic presidential nominee to Ukrainian energy executive because it violated its policy regarding hacked material.
Fox's Sean Langell. Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court confirmation hearing today features outside witnesses. She says about the difficulty of the process.
For me to say, I'm not willing to undertake it, even though I think this is something important, would be, a little cowardly. And, I wouldn't be answering a call to serve my country.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, there's so much to take advantage of. Like $0 copays on preventive dental care.
Wow.
Plus the nation's largest Medicare dental network.
Wow.
It's time to take advantage. To learn more, visit AdvantageWow.com. That's AdvantageWow.com.
$0 cost share for in-network preventive dental care. Specified services only. Benefits vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Network size varies by market.
Wow.
An official message from Medicare.
So, did you try it yet?
Comparing plans? Oh, yeah. They sure can change year to year.
Well, I found lower prescription costs and historically low plan premiums.
Ooh, how about those new insulin savings? Hundreds of plans, $35 a month.
That'll save you money.
Comparing plans really pays.
Mm-hmm.
Compare plans from home at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
The NFL Alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL Alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL Alumni.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a high of 87 to 90, partly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 75. Then Friday, look for a mix of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in the area and a high of 86 to 88. Saturday will be mostly sunny, high on Saturday 86 to 88. Then Sunday will have a blend of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in parts of the area in the afternoon. High on Sunday 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. And I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Right now, MyPillow has a special offer for you. 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. Each pillow is made in the USA and is machine washable and dryable. Call 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Annie to get 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. That's 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com, promo code Annie.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Promo code Annie.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it!
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Have you checked this week's big ad for Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens? Go to bobwinescameliagardens.net and check out the special deals this week. A great selection of fall bedding plants, just $1.99 each, or get a flat of 18 for $19.99. Knockout and drift roses, Bob's best quality, normally selling for $29.99, are half price at $14.99. That's not all. Bob has tons of azaleas during his truckload azalea sale. Dwarf ever-blooming azaleas, still just $3.99. Larger ever-blooming azaleas that sold all year for $19.99 are closeout priced at just $7.99. You really got to take a look at these. Wherever you look all over this 5.5-acre garden, there are serious bargains. Get your share at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. They're open daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3:30, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM The Source, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall. We're streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA The Source Radio. 68 degrees out there still, now with some sunshine coming through. Expected to be a sunny day here, as they say. Just a 20% chance of a shower or a thunderstorm for the afternoon. Isolated, if anything. They say just a chance of showers, as if there's any fog in some areas, as that's expected to burn off here within the next hour. Otherwise, mostly sunny. High near 88 today. Now, for the low is tonight, mostly clear, with the low around 65 with a little calm wind, as that's going to bring about with a little humidity in the air for tomorrow morning. Some more patchy fog, they say, for your Friday to the end of the week, as we have some patchy fog before 10 a.m. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high near 88, just like today, with a little north wind. That's going to bleed into the weekend for beautiful weather. High of 84 on Saturday, low of 69. On Sunday, high of 84, low of 70. And that carries into Monday as well. So some beautiful weather days are upon us right now. That's for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. As we're coming up on 20 minutes before the top of the 9 o'clock hour, it is now time for your Ocala News. Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. As President Donald Trump defends his response to the coronavirus, as he touted his economic record today yesterday during a live stream speech to the nonpartisan Economic Club of Florida and similar clubs in 5 other states, as the president's address also included an ominous type warning.
If I don't get elected in a little while, 20 days, China will own the United States. I can tell you that. Under my leadership, we will have a safe and effective vaccine before the end of the year. We will swiftly defeat the China virus, end the pandemic, bring back our critical supply chains, and lift our economy to unprecedented new heights.
As they mentioned that there won't be a presidential debate tonight in Miami as scheduled, but President Donald Trump will be in Miami for a town hall forum on NBC. At the same time, Joe Biden will participate in a town hall event in Philadelphia on ABC, sort of dueling of town halls. As President Donald Trump will then campaign in Ocala on Friday. As President Trump getting ready for that town hall broadcast, as they mentioned, then the president will host a rally Friday at the Ocala International Airport. Another day of confirmation hearings was underway as President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, and a Republican tells Fox and Friends First the judge would be an asset to the court.
All that matters, she's unflappable. She's there with her children. She's a mom. She's a successful lawyer, Notre Dame professor, and she was rated well qualified by the ABA, the American Bar Association, which is the standard, the highest standard that liberals use.
As the Senate Judiciary Committee, will have its first vote on Judge Barrett's nomination today and a final vote next week, with the full Senate will vote on her confirmation on the 26th. One Florida county just got rid of its mask mandate as Martin County commissioners have voted to rescind an ordering required face masks to be worn in public areas, as a 3-2 vote came after Assistant County Attorney Elise Elder said no residents have been cited.
Our sheriff has not issued any citations, so there are no penalties and fines imposed right now.
As Governor Ron DeSantis recently suspended all fees and fines on COVID-19 orders, so some commissioners felt it didn't make sense to keep a mandate in place that they can't enforce. A Pensacola man is accused of killing 2 linemen from Seattle who were in Alabama last week restoring power after Hurricane Sally. Deputies say that Antoine Smith shot the 2 during a drug deal gone bad. As mentioned in sports, for the idea of everything going on with COVID-19, is Saturday's game at the Swamp in Gainesville between the University of Florida and LSU is being postponed because of the Florida Gators dealing with COVID-19 infections and quarantines. Now, the SEC says that the game's new date is now for December 12th. If, as they mentioned, if someone in your household has recently been diagnosed with the coronavirus, the University of Miami's Miller School of Medicine is looking for you as doctors are testing an antibody cocktail to see if the spread of the virus can be reduced within a family, and if infected, the severity of the virus could be limited.
Monoclonal antibodies is actually as a group, they're one of the safest medicines. They've been used for over 25 years. They're used in cancer, they're used in autoimmune diseases, they're used in disorders of the skin.
Yes, Dr. Geary. Clinier says that they look to enroll 100 people 12 years or older, although they must have learned of their family member's positive diagnosis within 96 hours. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Take a short little break and we'll be back right after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
People ask me why I've worked at Palm Garden for so long, and I tell them it's the people. I love to hear the life stories, especially those from the greatest generation. Celebrating life stories is what sets Palm Garden apart, finding out what's important to them. And I love being a resource. Like Macy's Santa, if I can't help, I'll send them to Gimbel's. After all, Palm Garden is located on 34th Street. I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Call me and let's chat. 854-6262.
Is the internet driving business to your business? Hi, I'm Michael Warren with Brick City Interactive. At Brick City, we've been putting the web to work for businesses since 1998. We want to help you too, whether you're a real estate office, law office, medical office, manufacturer, retailer, a church, even a radio station like WOCA. We love to help businesses grow, and we have the knowledge and experience to make it happen. We offer professional, affordable web design, mobile responsive websites, search engine optimization, social media marketing, web video and promotions, online advertising, and more. Whether it's time for a redesign or whether you want to kickstart your existing website, let us help. Mention WOCA and we'll give you a free, no-obligation search engine optimization report for your website. This free report will give you practical steps to increase your search ranking. It's our gift to you from Brick City Interactive. Call us today at 352-351-1131 or visit us online at brickcity.com.
The NFL Alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida on Saturday, October 24th. Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL Alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL Alumni.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a high of 87 to 90, partly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 75. Then Friday, look for a mix of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in the area and a high of 86 to 88. Saturday will be mostly sunny, high on Saturday 86 to 88. Then Sunday we'll have a blend of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in parts of the area in the afternoon. High on Sunday 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
back to the show, AM Ocala, live 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source. We're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we welcome you this Thursday, as we say good morning to you. Lots of sunshine this morning, and nice and cool as it's now approaching 70 degrees for the morning, high of 88 today. So it's going to get warm, but it's going to be lots of sunshine too, and it's going to feel good because it seems like once that sun starts to go down, it seems like right around 3, 4 o'clock, it's hellaciously hot. But after that, as the sun starts to go down, it's been wonderful for the evenings, just right in temperature to sit on that back patio and enjoy that stuff. But nonetheless, it's going to be beautiful for the weekend, like we mentioned, as high of 88 today, low of 65 tonight, so a little bit chillier. Cooler, we'll just say, because anything below 60 is chilly, I guess you could say. But 65 is probably just right. Probably a lot of people keep their house at 65, as everybody I talk to when it comes to the air conditioning. But nonetheless, as that'll bleed into the weekend, as we mentioned, for your Saturday high of 84, Saturday night low of 69, and then Sunday high of 84 as well, as nice and sunny on Saturday, and just a small chance of maybe a shower, isolated thunderstorm or two on Sunday with just a 20% chance, as that'll bleed into the beginning of your next week. So with the idea of Friday, mostly sunny, high near 88. Well, that bleeds into the idea then, too, of the Trump rally that's to take place in Ocala, and what you need to know as it comes through and through, thanks to the Ocala Star banners. President Donald Trump is scheduled to speak at a rally at Ocala International Airport on Friday, one of several stops in the key battleground state of Florida in the final weeks of the campaign. As they say, here's what you need to know. It says, when is it? Well, Friday, October 16th. As it is tomorrow at 4 p.m., as gates open at 1 p.m., as President Donald Trump is expected to speak somewhere near 5 p.m., as organizers suggested arriving early. Where is it? It's at the Ocala International Airport, 1770 Southwest 60th Avenue at our Ocala Airport. And it says, for the idea of tickets, while there's still a chance to get some or register for them, it says to get tickets, for those who are interested, register at events.donaldjtrump.com. That's events.donaldjtrump.com. You can request 2 tickets per mobile phone number. All tickets are subject to a first-come, first-serve basis. Only those who register for tickets can enter the event. And the idea of those going, where does it mean for parking? Well, parking details will be shared with those who register for tickets, but most parking will be near the corner of State Road 40 and Southwest 60th, where there are large fields. Detail on shuttle service are not yet available. As road closures will happen, obviously, for everything that's going on with the event, for our local law enforcement to do what they need to do with the event of all those people. As the road closures, Southwest 60th Avenue between State Road 40 and State Road 200 will be restricted to event and local traffic. To the idea of wearing a mask, it says previous campaign events made face masks and hand sanitizers available. Face masks are encouraged by the local Department of Health. And then the idea of what you can bring. Well, attendees will undergo security checks before entering the grandstand area. Restrictions are similar to the airport guidelines, such as no large bags, umbrellas, pocket knives, or other weapons. However, cameras are encouraged. Nearly 4 years, they say, and it was nearly 4 years to the date. It's amazing how time has gone by, as Donald Trump will visit Ocala on the eve of the presidential election, this time as the incumbent. As we mentioned, tomorrow, October 12th, It was October 12, 2016, then candidate Donald Trump held one of his signature rallies at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion that drew an estimated crowd of 12,000 people. Hosting a president, however, is a much bigger logistical undertaking, as organizers on Friday's rallies expect anywhere from 5,000 to possibly 15,000 people. Planning started weeks earlier, with the United States Secret Service coordinating with local law enforcement and the Ocala International Airport and other agencies, as contingency plans are in place for emergencies, including medical issues, natural disasters, and attacks. It says on Wednesday, at least one of the C-17 cargo planes was at the airport unloading support materials ahead of the rally. Multiple large vehicles lined the front of the airport to block the view of the runway from the road. Marion County Sheriff's Office and Ocala Police Department are assisting the Secret Service with security as it comes through and through. Now, they mention in order to keep police radio chatter from the event off the normal law enforcement radio channels. There, as they say, they will station the sheriff's mobile command unit at the event. That unit will have handled the radio communications for the event. It says attendees will go through security screens before entering the rally area. The rules are similar to the FAA airport regulations, and said specifics about the event, including face mask policies, were not immediately available at previous rallies. The campaign has provided masks and hand sanitizers for whom to want them. It says while there are no current limits on the number of people at public gatherings in Florida, the Department of Health and Marion County encourages the use of cloth masks when social distancing of 6 feet apart persons is not possible. As Florida entered Phase 3 of the reopening on September 25th, as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ordered, does not specific limits on public gatherings. It says Ocala has no face mask law that covers outdoor gatherings. The governor's order still calls for older residents and vulnerable population with underlying medical conditions to avoid large crowds. And as mentioned, as the president visited Ocala in October, as they say last year, has held a small gathering at the airport before traveling to the villages aboard Marine One's helicopter. It says despite traveling by air, the president's full motorcade also made the trip, flown in aboard the C-17s. It's not clear if the president's vehicle, which typically travels with him, will be available in Ocala on Friday. So there you go. It's a little more information on what we see with the big event happening tomorrow, with everything with the President Donald Trump rally right here in our own backyard, if you can believe that. Just incredible nonetheless. As I did have a caller there, just as it was went to pick up, it backed off there. If you want to go ahead and give a call in. If you guys like to give us a call, 622-9622. If there's any questions or concerns or things you want to talk about with going on with the events tomorrow, feel free to have at it. We do got a caller. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air.
Good morning, Adam.
Morning, Hugh. How you doing, my friend?
Boy, I really missed you all week. I hope you're feeling better. Were you sick?
No. Just taking care of some other business that I needed to attend to and whatnot. But glad to be back in the saddle with you. Glad to hear that you missed me a little bit.
I wonder if the president is going to be coming in on Air Force One. That'd be kind of neat. I doubt it, though.
Yeah, no. With the expectations of that large bird, it can land at our airport. But the big thing is the logistics of getting that thing off the ground. We do have a long runway, but they usually come on in the what is it? I think it's the Boeing, the 757 that comes on in. So not the original 747 Air Force One, but it will be called Air Force One, but it'll be the smaller bird that comes in, I imagine.
Right.
But
now, the only way you can see him is you have to have a ticket?
They say you have to have a ticket. You can register for tickets online. You could do it through your mobile device. As they mentioned, the site for it, and for those listening, once again, it's events.donaldjtrump.com, where you can register 2 tickets per mobile phone, and all tickets are subject to the first come, first served basis. So if there's still tickets available, you'll still be able to have those. You're registering for them, and I think they email them to you from there. And with that comes a little bit of the information on where to park and everything else. So they encourage you to go on there.
Do you know where he's going after Ocala?
What's that?
Do you know where he's going after Ocala?
Not sure. I don't know.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's going to helicopter down to the villages.
Well, I think the idea is to just do everything here in Ocala. I wouldn't be surprised if actually he just flies out of here down to Mar-a-Lago back to Miami. I'd imagine that's probably where he's looking. But yeah, we'll see. We need to take a break, my friend. Top of the 9 o'clock hour. We appreciate it, and thank you for calling in, my man. You got it. WOCA, more back after this.
Lack legitimacy in the eyes of the people of our country.
A committee vote on Barrett comes next week.
Fox's Jared Halpern. And the number of first-time jobless claims for last week coming in at 898,000. That is above the expectation. America's listening to Fox News.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, there's so much to take advantage of. Like $0 copays on preventive dental care.
Wow.
Plus, the nation's largest Medicare dental network.
Wow.
It's time to take advantage. To learn more, visit AdvantageWow.com. That's AdvantageWow.com.
$0 cost share for in-network preventive dental care. Specified services only. Benefits vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Network size varies by market.
Wow.
An official message from Medicare.
So, did you try it yet?
Comparing plans? Oh, yeah. They sure can change year to year.
Well, I found lower prescription costs and historically low plan premiums.
Ooh, how about those new insulin savings? Hundreds of plans, $35 a month.
That'll save you money.
Comparing plans really pays.
Mm-hmm.
Compare plans from home at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
WOCA.
Ocala. It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. USDA, the